And then you came to LA.
And then I came to LA and I was like, I want to get back into the whole thing. And did it for a little bit and definitely took a lot of classes. Like I did Leslie Kahn and UCB.
Oh, I just interviewed Leslie.
And I saw. She was great. And UCB. But I'm sure, as you know, in LA, you got to have a day job if you're not booking things right off the bat. And I worked high-end retail.
Oh, shit.
And that was a lot.
Like Gucci?
Like
Coach?
I was on Rodeo.
Oh, shit.
I was at Miu Miu. I was at Charlotte Olympia. Yeah. And that was a lot. And
what was a lot? Working the day job and going to try an audition?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I got really sucked into my day job. I was really good at what I did. But it was hard to find that balance. And then I feel like retail just kind of sucked the soul out of everything and made me kind of fall out of love with acting. Mm-hmm. I think just because of where I was mentally, and it just felt like a lot of me, and like, look at me and come see how good I am, and feeling like there was lots of limiting beliefs that I was having and just wasn't really believing in myself, didn't have a ton of drive. And it just didn't feel like it was what I was doing was of any like importance or didn't feel good. And so I was like, I need to quit my job and I'm going to just pivot. And I don't really want to act anymore. I want to do something, not to say that acting isn't helping people or, anything like that. But I was just like, I want to help people. I want to do something that's going to better someone's day and get into my body a little bit more. And I just felt like this was the only way out, to just like quit and just focus on this.
Yeah.
And then I've just never looked back.
So sorry to dwell on the bad part of that story that you just ended on, never looking back. Were those limiting beliefs? Was that just sort of a slow burn, or was it sort of a light switch where you're like, this isn't happening. I'm not confident in my.
I think it was a slow burn. Yeah. And I think again, it was just like where I was mentally. And I really do equate a lot of the day job for that, where I was in that headspace and mentally of just like feeling really run down. And yeah. And then it just was like it was a very slow burn where I didn't have the drive. I felt like everyone around me was so much more talented, and I'm seeing them not book jobs, where now I think I could totally reframe that mindset and be like, these people aren't necessarily more talented than me. Like, what do I have to offer that's different and unique and special? I just wasn't even in any of that headspace to think about anything. And so they started becoming these really crazy limiting beliefs. And I was just like, I just don't want to do it anymore.
How long did you give it a go? Like when you moved to LA to when you stepped away?
5 years. Yeah. I've been in LA for like 14 years. Yeah. Again, I probably could have given it longer. Like, I feel like I look back and see things that I could have done differently or the ways I could have approached it. But yeah, but I think most importantly, I just lost the drive. I lost the motivation. Yeah. Like, you need that motivation, and for sure you need it. And I just lost it. I was like,
Did you book anything in that 5 years?
Nothing substantial. Nothing substantial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tough too.
Yeah. So yeah, when you're just like not booking, and then I felt like I didn't have time. I wanted to like take more classes and do more things and and I just felt like I didn't even have time because I was stuck in this day job.
Yeah. That's the tough part about it.
Yeah. And so you just get frustrated. And yeah.
It is so hard, and you have to really like it to even want to try. Like, I feel like I'm stretched so thin right now with a day job acting. Like, it's, and then you got your reps that are saying you got to do more, and you're like, I'm already self-producing a podcast, making social media clips, doing all this stuff on top of auditions. And it's just like, that's why I like time management, because if you don't sort of manage your time, in my opinion, or like try to organize it, conflicting priorities kind of set you down a sketchy path where you're not focused at all and you're not organized. Yeah,
that became the priority. The day job became the priority. Yeah.
Were you working on commission?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So like, you got to work for it. And again, I was good at, I like want to succeed in anything that I do, slightly a perfectionist. And so I feel like I did devote a lot of time and energy to that job, even though I didn't feel it wasn't fulfilling my soul in any way.
Yeah. So when you left, you said you didn't look back. So like, you're content with that decision, even though you grew up like being, I'm going to be an actor, I'm going to be a musical.
Yeah, I am content with that decision because I still feel like I am able to be creative. I get to use so much of what I learned as an actor, as a yoga teacher.
Yeah.
I'm performing multiple
It's very
times.
creative. I think it's
multiple times a week, right?
Yeah.
I'm in front of an audience. I have to be on. I have to be interesting. I have to provide interesting information. I'm choreographing. I'm telling a story. I'm improvising when, you know, different factors come into play and I have to like switch on a dime. So I feel like there's so much of what I learned and what I did all my life that kind of set me up for this.
Yeah.
As long as I can still be creative in that sense, like have some of that creativity and be a creative person, then I'm fine with that.
I agree.
That makes me happy.
Did you read the Rick Rubin book?
Mm-mm.
Rick Rubin wrote a book that was very popular a year or two ago about like creativity and how we all have a form of creativity in us, whether that's building an engine or teaching a yoga class or writing a world-renowned movie. Like it's all creativity, and there's all this. It's a little frou-frou, but it's all this creative energy floating around, and it's going to land on us or you or me or so-and-so, and it's up to us to take that and harness it. And if we don't, it's going to move on to the next type of person. And so I absolutely think that's creative. And I think a lot of people like me like the outlet, like yoga that's creative, or like, I was talking to George Basil a couple months ago, and he was like, I like tinkering on a car, building things. It's like, oh, it's all creative. It's not quote unquote glamorous creativity, but it's creativity nonetheless.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like that I'm content with that.
I
For
love
sure.
that.
I think I was, sad about it. I was sad to leave that behind, especially after doing it my whole life. But yeah, I'm definitely content with it now.
Are you satiated? Like if somebody offered you an audition right now for a yoga teacher, would you go, oh, sure, I'll audition?
I don't know.
If somebody offered you a part, would you take it?
Without auditioning?
Yeah. Okay.
For sure. But I think just to do it, because again, it's something that I still like to do.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't then switch gears and or try to do that. Yeah. Or a lot of times, like my parents will even say, like, you can do both. You can, you can still do both. But I just didn't. I don't know. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to shut that door. And I love what I do now.
Yeah.
And I want to devote all my time and energy to that.
I love that. If the light dimmed out, no reason to relight it.
Yeah, relight it.
When are you going to do a musical yoga class? When are you going to sing instructions to us?
Oh my
Shavasana.
That'd be great.